Hi sisters, James Charles here and welcome back to my YouTube channel. First of all, wow, it feels so weird to say those words out loud. Oh my gosh, it has been a really long time since I've been down here in the makeup studio, but it feels really good to be sitting here today. I have missed you guys more than you could ever imagine. I hope you're enjoying your summer. I hope you're doing well. I hope you had a very happy and beautiful Pride Month. It kind of feels like the world is finally getting back to normal with all the vaccines and stuff. I got both my shots over the past couple of weeks, which has been amazing. And I really feel like there's a lot of beautiful things happening in the world right now. And I'm really looking forward to catching up with you guys today. As you know, over the past couple of months, I have been offline. After I posted my last video, which was holding myself accountable, I felt as though it was really important for me to actually hold myself accountable and take a major step away and do a lot of work behind the scenes until I was ready to come back. And the last 3.5 months now, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, have been really weird. I've been doing social media for almost 6 years now, which is wild to think about, but I've really never taken a long break to just be away and work on myself. So this time was definitely different for me, but I also feel as though this has been some of the most important months in my entire life in terms of personal growth and self-reflection, and I'm really looking forward to talking to you guys a lot about that in today's video. I really want this today to just be a super honest, raw, unfiltered, sit down conversation between myself and anybody else who wants to listen. There's a lot that I want to talk about in today's video. I have a lot of positive topics, but I also think it would be ridiculous and irresponsible to try to just come back to social media and pretend like nothing happened and move on with regularly scheduled makeup programming. So I do also have some pretty serious topics to discuss in today's video as well, being what happened a couple of months ago. I want to clarify some things that didn't happen a couple of months ago and everything that happened after I posted my video, but more importantly, talk a lot about the realizations that I've come to behind the scenes, the conversations that I've been having with myself, my friends, my family, peers, business colleagues, and professionals to really come to terms with a lot of different issues that I have been ignoring for quite a while now. And once again, just talk a lot about the growth and hopefully be able to not move on from the situation, because I don't think that that's the appropriate language to use, but hopefully move forward. And I really hope that you guys will choose to join me in this conversation. For today's video, I really want to get ready together for a few different reasons. One being I miss doing makeup so much, and I really want to do a pretty look in today's video. But also two, when I posted my last video, one of the biggest pieces of feedback that I got was that it felt really ingenuine and scripted. And that really sucks, because that video was not scripted, but I am really bad at just sitting down in front of a camera and talking. So by the time that I, got the sentence out that I was imagining in my head after 8 different tries, it almost did become a script. And I think that we can all agree that that last video was definitely not a great one. It was a miss. And that really sucks, because that video was super important. It was obviously really embarrassing to talk about that in front of the entire world, but I really wanted to apologize to the people affected and also hold myself accountable for the role that I did play. And I feel like a lot of the points and a lot of what I was trying to talk about in that video got overshadowed by the tone and the delivery. And I really don't want that to be the case with today's video. I do recognize that a chit chat, get ready with me might not feel like the most appropriate format for a serious conversation. I hear you 1,000,000%. For me, makeup is like my art form. It's my therapy. It helps me calm down and reduce my anxiety. So my goal is to hopefully be able to create a beautiful look by the end of this video, while also having a really serious conversation with you guys that I think is important, so my brain won't be too distracted and running 1,000,000 miles an hour and tripping me up over my words. I hope that makes sense. I don't want to undermine the severity of the topics in any way, shape, or form. I think this will be the best way to go about just talking about a lot of different things together. And that being said, I think we should just go ahead and get started. All right, you guys, so I'm just gonna get started on my makeup routine. This is definitely not gonna be a tutorial. Like I said, I do wanna have a conversation throughout the video today. And I definitely think the first topic that I wanna talk about is just going over, once again, everything that happened a couple of months ago and clarifying a lot of stuff that's happened after I posted my last video and what people have been saying, answering some questions, and talking about the growth and everything that I've been working on for the past couple of months behind the scenes. As you guys know, I posted my Holding Myself Accountable video, and in that video talked about how basically 2 guys had come forward with stories on social media about how I had inappropriate contact with them when they were under the age of 18. Now, when this was all going on, my first reaction was to be super upset, because I did mention in that video that they had lied to me about their age and that I absolutely did not groom them. And my first reaction was to post a no more lies style of video, debunking everything and fighting back and everything. And then I really had to sit down and reflect and look back at myself and my actions and things that had happened. And I really realized that at the end of the day, as the adult and the person with the platform, it was 1000% my responsibility to be doing my due diligence and checking into the people that I was speaking to, and I failed to do that. And that really, really sucks. And that's why I uploaded that video, because I felt as though it was really important for me to hold myself accountable, give people an explanation as to what went down, and most importantly, apologize to the people that were actually affected by my actions. One of the responses that I saw quite a lot on social media and in the comments of that video was a lot of people felt like I felt like this is just another James Charles scandal that I could easily move on from, like nothing ever happened. And I really feel as though it's important for me to just address right away that that is absolutely not the case in any way, shape, or form, and that could not be further from the truth. First of all, I feel like calling this a scandal in the first place is just not an appropriate word to be using with this situation. There's no denying that I've been in my fair share of scandals online, but using that word with this situation just feels really, really wrong. And it really feels like it's making light of what actually happened, and I don't want to do that. I definitely have not been taking this lightly. If I thought that this was just some stupid scandal that I can move on from, I would not have uploaded my last video and I would be posting on social media like nothing ever happened. But this has been the worst but most important wake-up call of my entire life for a lot of different reasons, and this is by far the most embarrassing thing to ever happen to me. I mean, if you guys have been following for a while now, you all know what happened in 2019. I'm definitely not going to get into that, but you know, when that all happened, I was accused of something that I did not do, and I was able to prove it all wrong, but I did recognize that I needed to make changes, and I uploaded a video making a lot of promises to my audience and to the public that I was going to work on myself behind the scenes, and I did. I spent 2 years, you know, changing my behavior, changing the way that I went about dating and flirting with guys. I worked on rebuilding my brand and my social media presence, and now, 2 years later, that this is happening again, even though the situations are not connected, even though it's a different thing, it really looks as though I have made no progress. I haven't listened, I haven't learned, and that sucks so much. I really feel like I let down myself. I feel like I let down my team, my friends, my followers, everybody who has been by my side supporting me and even defending me over the past 2 years from everything that went down beforehand. I now feel as though I have made to look stupid, and that is quite literally the most crushing, embarrassing feeling in the entire world. And I said it in my last video, but I will say it again to everybody close to me, to all my friends, my family, my fans. I am so sorry for disappointing you guys and letting you down once again. You know, as scary as it is to think about, I've also come to terms with the fact that this isn't just something that I can move on from. I am aware that, you know, no matter what I say in this video or 10 videos down the line or a year's worth of videos down the line, these stories and accusations are going to follow me for the rest of my life and the rest of my career, and that sucks so much it's not even funny, and it's so horrifying and embarrassing. But at the end of the day, it's my own fault and my own responsibility to, you know, take accountability for what I did. I want to be held accountable for what I did do. And all I can hope is that whether it be, you know, weeks, months, years down the line, I'm able to showcase my growth in the person that I really, really am. Now, like I said, obviously I have absolutely no problem holding myself accountable for things that I did do, but I also do think as creators, or not even really creators, as human beings, we should also be able to defend ourselves on things that we didn't do. Now, when I posted my last video holding myself accountable, I mentioned that I was gonna be taking a break from social media for a while and wouldn't be responding to anything. And quite a lot of people took advantage of my time away and really ran wild with all sorts of stories and videos and allegations that made this situation a lot worse. I do wanna take some time in this video today to just shed some light and further information on some stories, you know, that either did or did not happen and that I saw being spread on social media while I was gone, because I think it's really important that you guys have the full picture of what actually went down. There was basically one drama channel on Twitter that started a thread and started compiling a list of anybody that said literally anything about me on social media. And after what felt like weeks of somebody new coming forward every single day, it eventually became the 20 victims of James Charles. I'm not gonna go through this list one by one because I know that nobody wants to sit here for an hour listening to me talk about this, but I do feel as though I have to say something because I am just not comfortable with this video or really any video moving forward allowing anybody, let alone my followers, to think that there are any victims of James Charles, let alone 20 victims of James Charles, because that is completely, unequivocally not true. Now, when I say that literally anything and everything was being added to this list, I really do mean anything and everything. There were a few different influencers from TikTok that slid into my DMs or I slid into their DMs and had a 5-minute conversation with them until asking their age or sexuality and then completely stopped responding. There were guys that I matched with on Tinder last year and they had their ages set to 18 or 19, so I talked to them and flirted with them for a while because that's the whole point of an adult dating app until I realized that they were lying, so I blocked them and nothing further happened. One of my own friends is on that list simply because we filmed a TikTok together when he was 18 and the drama channel that was posting this just decided that I groomed him. You know, there's a guy from my high school on that list because he made a video about me, and as annoying as it was, at least in his video, he fully said that it was completely consensual, that we were both grown adults, and that he was only posting it for clout. I can at least appreciate the honesty, but the problem is when it was reported on Twitter, it was a fan comes forward about James Charles forcing him to do blah, 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 which is just so far from what was even said by the person that actually made the video in the first place. But the worst part about all of this is that on top of all of those situations, there were countless videos posted that were completely fake. I'm not talking about somebody unsent a message or somebody took something out of context. I'm talking about conversations that fully never happened, that were edited from beginning to end. Now, to be fair, there were several other drama channels and even news outlets and reporters that were calling out this person for knowingly posting fake stories and information time and time and time again. And I am really, really appreciative of that. But the problem is we are such a headline-driven society that people don't see that information being corrected or, you know, being taken down. All they see is that initial headline, which literally said the 20 victims of James Charles, and that's the information that sticks with them. When more and more things were being added to this list, the one response that I saw over and over and over again was that there's a pattern here. You know, James keeps saying that he's the victim, he keeps saying that these people are lying to him or taking advantage of him. All these people can't be working together, and where there's smoke, there's fire, so obviously something is going on. And I 1,000,000% understand exactly why people are saying that, because if I was on the outside, I'd be saying the same exact thing. It looks so suspicious. I kept thinking, like, why does this keep happening to me? What am I doing wrong? Why can't I just find somebody who likes me for me? But I finally realized, and like I talked about in my last video, I was allowing myself to be so easily accessible to literally anybody who wanted to give me attention and have a conversation for 5 minutes, because I was so delusional in thinking that the conversation can't hurt, maybe it'll actually lead to me finding, you know, the one. When in reality, of course, statistically, that does make sense. If you talk to more people, it, I guess, increases your chances of being able to find a potential partner, but at the same time, I wasn't realizing that that also increases my chances of finding somebody not great that doesn't want to talk to me for the right reasons and that might lie or take advantage of me. And that is nobody's fault other than my own. That being said though, there is a second pattern that's happening here that I really do feel like a lot of people aren't seeing, and I feel as though it's important for me to point out. And that pattern is that if you make a video about me, your experience dating or talking to me, whatever it may be, whether it's completely real or completely fake, it will go viral on social media. Now, I am not saying that to boost my own ego and beat my chest and act like I am so important and so famous. It really is just the reality of the situation. If you look at the people's profiles who have posted this content, all of their videos have 1,000 views, 2,000 views, maybe 10,000, but then all of a sudden, my experience with James Charles, whether it be completely real or completely fake, has 6 million views. And at this point, it's literally become a trend to post screenshots of conversations, not just with me, but with everybody. And at this point, dare I even say, like, a meme to post your experience talking to James Charles. Now, once again, I recognize that this is my own fault. I wish more than anything I could go back in time and stop myself from making all those jokes about straight guys years ago and talking about dating and how I was single and how I wanted a boyfriend so badly. Like, I wish more than anything that I kept that private. Unfortunately, at this point, there's nothing that I can do about that other than just be better moving forward. But at the same time, I'm still a human being that deserves privacy and respect like everybody else. You know, it's one thing to have a super innocent and casual 5-minute conversation with somebody on Instagram DMs or a dating app, and then to scroll on your For You page an hour later and see every single message that was sent. It already feels really, really violating and dehumanizing, but at the same time, once again, it's my own fault, and that's just what happens with having a platform. But now we've gotten to a point where people are completely faking conversations from beginning to end that contain incriminating content, and they're going really, really viral, and nobody thinks twice about them or knows what to believe. And that's what's so horrifying about this trend, and it has to stop. And when speaking of this, I think it's really important for me to clarify as well that in no way, shape, or form am I trying to invalidate victims or victim blame or victimize myself either. When I posted my last video, I recognized that although I was not guilty of what I was being accused of, I was not innocent in general and did need to make a lot of changes and apologize moving forward. So I'm not trying to invalidate any of those people, but at the same time, you can't be a victim of something that did not happen. And with all these people making completely fake conversations and screenshots and posting videos of a 5-minute conversation just to get attention and clout and likes and go viral on social media to add to this crazy narrative, all it does is discredit and disrespect the people that were actually affected in the first place, and it waters down the severity of the issue and the situation going on, but it also discourages people from being able to come forward in the future, because when it's so easy to Photoshop and edit these conversations from beginning to end, nobody's going to know what to believe, and that is a really, really dangerous situation. The last thing that I kind of want to talk about is that I know when I upload this video, there's going to be a lot of people that say, okay, cool, James, you said this before, so where's your receipts and your screenshots to back it up? And that's totally valid, but I'm going to let you guys know right now that I am not going to be including any in today's video. And I could sit here and say that that is because I'm trying to be the bigger person and grow and not get involved in tea or drama anymore, and that would be true, but the real reason why I'm not including screenshots in today's video is because I don't have them. I know that I kind of became like known for that after No More Lies, but that was such a different situation where I had months and months worth of texts and DMs that I could super easily pull together a timeline and prove my innocence. Whereas in these situations, for the ones that were real at least, these interactions lasted for 5 minutes, an hour, a few days at maximum, and I just wasn't sitting there taking photos of everything that was being said. You know, I do have some receipts that I definitely think would help, but I'm also gonna be honest and say that there's several situations that I don't have any sort of receipts for, especially not the conversations that were completely fake, and I really don't wanna leave anything on the table. You know, no matter what sort of receipts or screenshots or proof that I include or share online, there's always going to be a group of people that refuse to believe it because the narrative and the drama and the tea is simply more fun and more entertaining. And that really, really sucks. But, you know, I know the person that I am. I know what I've done. I know what I have not done. And I know what I need to work on. And all I can hope is that there will always be people out there who are willing to let other human beings learn and grow from their mistakes. And I just really look forward to hopefully showing that in the future. You know, speaking of learning and growing, the last thing that I just want to briefly discuss before we move on to a more lighthearted subject is I would love to just take a few minutes of your guys' time and talk a little bit about the progress that I made and the conclusions that I have come to over the past couple of months, because I promised that I would do that in my last video and I feel like I owe it to you guys. Whenever anybody apologizes, personally, I always think it's really important to not only apologize, but also to be able to explain that you understand how what you did was wrong and why it affected somebody and how you're not going to do it again in the future. So when I uploaded my last video, I talked a lot about how I was desperate and coming to terms with that. And looking back now, that was not the right word to use. It became quite a meme and a trend online, and I totally understand why. That was not supposed to be an excuse for anything that happened at all. I was simply trying to explain to you guys that I finally understood why I kept getting into this position over and over and over again, and how it was my own fault and nobody else's. I really was convinced that I was able to live this like Hannah Montana double life fantasy where I could be James Charles, the internet persona beauty guru during the day, but then later on I could wipe my makeup off, get in normal clothes, and talk to people on Instagram DMs or on a dating app, or even hang out with somebody and have them see me as James Dickinson. And looking back now, I am so angry with myself that I was ever this delusional to think that it was possible. It's a lovely thought and a lovely idea, but the reality is they're the same person. And until I gave somebody the opportunity and the time to get to know me and my heart and my soul, they were always going to see me as James Charles, because that's what I put out there on my platform to millions and millions of people. And I just wasn't understanding this, but now I finally do. In my last video, I mentioned that moving forward, I was going to be asking every single person that I spoke to for IDs to make sure that this never ever happened again. And that's already something that I've been doing and has been working great. But it's now clear to me more than ever that I need to be doing so much more to protect myself and my brand and my privacy and safety, most importantly, as well. And these are all things that I've learned from making mistakes. Everything that I've learned about dating in terms of protecting myself and red flags to look out for has been through experiencing something and not wanting that to happen again. I got called out for flirting with straight guys, so I stopped allowing myself to be a science experiment. I've been on dates before where guys have tried to take pictures of me on the DL, so it's now gotten to a point where a lot of times when somebody comes over, I'll ask them to leave their phone at the front door. I've even been in situations where I had a guy over and I asked him to leave because he made me uncomfortable and he hit me, which was horrifying, but I learned from that and I now never have anybody over without my roommates being home. God forbid anything happens. Now, I'm not bringing any of that up to ask for sympathy or act like woe is me. Once again, I recognize that these type of things can happen when you have a platform. It's up to me to protect myself and make sure that I am not allowing myself to be so easily accessible to let those people in the first place. But I'm simply bringing it up to say that it's really complicated. And these are all things that I've learned over time. And I'm still learning and will forever be learning to be the best version of myself or the best potential boyfriend in the future. Speaking of the future, I really don't know what that is going to look like. Like I mentioned, I am going to be so much more careful moving forward with every single person that I talk to or interact with. But that doesn't mean that I still don't want to find my right person, just like everybody else. I just don't exactly know how to go about that yet. but I'm gonna figure it out as I go. You know, one of the really interesting things to me was when this was all happening, a lot of people were saying like, he shouldn't be DMing people, he needs to be on this app, or he shouldn't be on this app, he needs to do this, he needs to do this. I've been on Tinder and Hinge, but I've had people either lie or take screenshots, and my account is currently banned on both of those apps for catfishing as myself. I had a Raya account, which is like the celebrity dating app, but even conversations from there got leaked a couple of weeks ago, and they declined my request to rejoin. There have been so many people too saying, he just needs to give up and date a celebrity. You guys, trust me when I say I would literally love nothing more. Oh my God, if that option were on the table, trust me, it would have been taken a long time ago. The idea of dating somebody that's in LA, that has a busy but flexible schedule, that understands my life, that has money so that I don't have to pay for everything, that I can film videos with or walk red carpets with, like, hello, that is literally a dream come true. Oh my God. The problem is the list of 20 to 25-year-old queer men that are also in the public eye with a large following is just really, really small. And I'm friends with almost everybody that is on that list. So it's really just not an option. You know, I don't know who my perfect person is going to be or how I'm going to go about meeting them. I do know that I'm going to be way more careful and way more patient moving forward, but I still want to be able to talk to new people, meet new people, and have experiences just like every human being does, and find love like every human being deserves. And of course, when that happens one day, I would love, love, love to share that with you guys. But until that happens, unfortunately, no matter how careful I am, I'm most likely still gonna run into people that will always value likes or making a video over somebody's privacy and feelings. And that sucks. All I can do is just learn from that situation and figure out how to better protect myself and be more careful moving forward. And that, I promise, is exactly what I'm gonna be doing. I know that this has been a really, really long conversation and portion of the video, so if you made it all the way through to this point, I just want to say thank you for listening and hearing everything that I had to say. It really does mean a lot. Like I said, it would be really stupid to try to come back to social media and pretend like nothing ever happened. So as embarrassing as this was, I really felt as though it was important and I owed it to you guys to just sit down and have a conversation about everything. I hope I was able to answer some questions, clear up some stuff that didn't happen, but most importantly, once again, be able to hold myself accountable for what did and explain to you guys that I understand why I put myself into this situation, why it's wrong, and how I'm working a lot on myself and making a lot of changes to make sure that this never, ever happens again in the future. And I really, really hope to be able to show that to you guys if you choose to stick around for that journey. All that being said, this bake has been sitting on my face for literally 30 minutes now. I'm pretty sure the powder has melted into my skin, which is disgusting. So I'm going to wipe it away. We can get started on an eyeshadow look and hopefully have a much more fun end to this video. All right, you guys, so I'm really excited for today's makeup look. I have a super cute idea for like a pride themed moment that I want to do. But before that, I do want to give credit to some inspiration of this look, and that is to the Ballerina Bride MUA on Instagram. This is the look that she created. I really love how she used a lot of chunky glitter and 3D butterflies. So I want to do the same thing. And just to clarify, because I'm a little bit scared, she has no association to me. We don't follow each other. I just found her on my Instagram Explore page. So please do not give her any hate for being in this video. She's a really, really talented artist. So if you want to support her, I encourage that for sure. Dipping into the brand new Lunar Beauty Life's a Drag Facelift palette, I'm just going to grab the shade Campy, the bright yellow, and just get started on this cute little makeup look. There are so many things that I'm so excited to talk to you guys about and catch up with. Oh my God, I feel like it's been literally forever. First of all, I am so excited that it kind of, sort of, a little bit feels like the world is slowly getting back to normal. I'm knocking on wood because I know that that is not the case everywhere, but at least here in LA, it kind of feels like things are starting to open back up. You know, I got both of my vaccine shots a couple of weeks ago, which was amazing. I got Moderna for anybody who is wondering, and I do just want to encourage my followers or anybody who is watching, if you have the opportunity and resources to get a vaccine, please, please, please do your part in keeping everybody safe so we can finally be able to move on and keep everybody alive and well. I am really, really lucky that I was able to get access to it when it kind of first got here and opened up to people of my age group in LA, and I got it right away. For anybody who has not gotten it yet and maybe wondering what it was like, personally for me, it was really, really easy. I don't have like a fear of needles or anything, so the shot was perfectly fine. The first dose, I really didn't feel anything. My arm was a little bit sore for the next day, but that was it. The second dose, however, was not exactly the same situation. At first, I did feel fine, but then later on that night, I woke up with a really bad fever and sweating. It was disgusting. It was so gross. One of the worst night's sleep that I've ever had. But by the time that I woke up, I just took it really, really easy the next day, took some vitamins and medicine, and later on the next night, like 24 hours later, I was back to being completely normal and completely fine. It obviously did suck, but 24 hours of pain and fever was definitely worth hopefully a lifetime of being protected against this awful virus that has been going around. And like I said, I strongly encourage anybody who has the availability and access to get it. Please, please, please do your part and get the vaccine. Oh my God, how could I forget? Also, while I was gone was my 22nd birthday. Thank you so much to everybody who left really beautiful, positive, happy birthday messages on my Instagram or my social media. It really did mean the world. I really did try my best to stay off my phone and social media a lot over the past couple of months, but I'd be completely lying to you guys if I didn't say that I checked it every once in a while. You know, I don't think anybody is shocked by that, but it really did warm my heart to see so much positivity on my birthday, especially going through everything that I was at the time. So just thank you so much for that. I do want to talk to you guys about my birthday though for two different reasons. The first one being I just want to tell you guys what we did because it was really fun, but the second reason being a little bit more serious. So basically me and my closest friends all rented a house out in Coachella and we did Camp Charles. So think like summer camp, but for adults. And oh my God, it was an absolute blast. We played all sorts of games like archery tag. We played manhunt at night after the sun went down, which was maybe not the brightest idea since everybody was a little bit tipsy. There were definitely some falls and some bruises and some scrapes, but it was still a lot of fun. We played a kickball, but instead of like running around the bases, we did slip and slides. We were like slipping all around in the water, which was absolutely insane. And on the last day, my friend surprised me and brought in this super cool company. They basically set up like this very puzzle, escape room, scavenger hunt style game for all of us to play, which was by far my favorite event of the entire weekend. Oh my God. You guys, we were diving into the pool and getting golf balls. We were running all around the property looking for different clues, solving puzzles, doing word searches. Like it was literally everything that I love in life all combined into one game, and I had an absolute blast. I really wish more than anything that I was on social media because it would have been so much fun to vlog it for you guys and take you along on the journey. But that does actually bring me to the second point that I kind of want to talk about my birthday, and that is that I've been doing, once again, like I said, a lot of thinking. And this year I just turned 22, which is so crazy to think about. I've been on social media since I was literally 16, so you guys have really watched me grow up. One of the things that I really realized, and I kind of touched on this earlier a little bit, is the whole like James Charles versus like James Dickinson persona. You know, you guys see my edited YouTube videos, you see my filtered and Facetune Instagram photos, you see my stories with a filter on them. And like, of course I take you guys behind the scenes every once in a while, but I kind of like realized like, over the past couple of years, you guys have gotten to know such a filtered and curated version of me. There's so many sides of me that you guys don't know. And I've been so worried and concerned about always being perfect and never messing up or making mistakes and always being like this family-friendly, fabulous makeup artist character that I've kind of lost touch with the person that I really am. And I want to show you guys that. Like this time away, like I mentioned, for the past couple of months has been really, really weird because I'm a workaholic and not being online was very different for me. It really gave me an opportunity to reconnect with old hobbies that I used to love doing. I spent a literal week straight building a ton of different Lego sets that I ordered online, which was so much fun. I built a Hogwarts set, I built the Taj Mahal out of Legos for like 12 hours straight, and I loved every single moment of it. I have been playing an unhealthy amount of Minecraft Bed Wars, which is a really fun mini game, and I have gotten so good at it. Oh my God. I've really just been spending a lot of time on myself and doing things that I really enjoy. And in the future, I definitely just want to showcase more of that to you guys and bring you behind the scenes and show the mess ups and show the unedited photos and be more raw and make jokes and say, you know, cuss words that I normally would in my everyday life. Of course, I still want everybody to be able to watch and enjoy my content, so don't worry, there's not gonna be like any crazy drastic changes, but I really was just thinking like if I'm working on, you know, allowing people to see me for who I am and not just James Charles, I should be doing the same thing on my social media platforms with you guys as well, and I'm really looking forward to showcasing a lot more of my personal life with you guys. Okay, so that is pretty much the eyeshadow portion all complete. I'm literally loving how this is turning out so far. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add a bunch of different glitters and butterflies on top to tie the whole look together. I got these tiny little paper butterflies from Etsy, so I just basically am folding them in half. Oh, so cute. Okay, perfect. As soon as I saw this look, I knew I wanted to do it for this video today, but it was originally only because I thought it was pretty and would look good for Pride Month, but now that I'm actually putting it on, I feel like it makes a lot of sense, and I know that this sounds so stupid. Oh no. But now that I'm actually putting it on and thinking about it, I really feel as though it has like a deeper meaning, which I know sounds so cheesy and so stupid, but butterflies are the symbol of rebirth and new beginnings. I really do feel like this has been the most important time of my entire life for self-growth, reflection, and I really feel like this video today is the symbol of a new beginning and hopefully a really beautiful one. All right, you guys, I finally just popped on some mascara and a lash, and I think that completes one eye of this beautiful butterfly pride look. I am loving how this is turning out so far, but I've been talking your ear off. I know this has been going on for a really long time now, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut, do the other eye off camera, and I'll be right back to finish off the rest of the look. Okay, you guys, we are finally back with the other eye all complete. I know it's only been 1 second for you, but for me, I've been sitting here literally coloring in butterflies for the past hour. I am so exhausted, but I'm so happy with how this look is turning out so far. Just gonna add a little bit of glow on top of what we already have going on. Oh, it's so pretty. Okay, I'm just gonna give myself a quick spritz of some setting spray, and then finally finish off with a cute little glossy nude lip. All right, you guys, now that the lips are all on and my face is set in place, I believe that is this Pride butterfly makeup look all complete. I really hope you enjoyed how it turned out. I am obsessed with the final product. I cannot wait to go outside before sunset in a few minutes and take a photo and post on Instagram for the first time in a couple of months. Normally at the end of my videos, I do the whole, if you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, comment down below spiel, but I really don't feel like that's the right thing to do for this video. You know, obviously we had some fun things to talk about, but majority of this video was a really important conversation that I felt like I owed to you guys and needed to have, and I really hope that you chose to listen to it all the way through. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I know it's been a long one. I hope you're having a beautiful day, and I hope to see you very soon. Bye.